Hey guys, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk. So it's going to be 5 records in 5 minutes. It's the monthly theme again. The fifth month I've done the monthly theme. Started it last November. Now it's March of 2023. So let's get into it. So every month, Local H had an album called 12 Angry Months. And what were they angry about in the month of March? Well, they were angry about that fucker driving the sports car, BMW man. So, another sort of, the Local H sound. As I lose focus here, we'll regain the focus. So, the Local H sound with the two piece, Scott Lucas singing, playing the guitar. That's also has a couple strings strung like the bass, and the drums. So, kind of your hard alternative sound. And next, we're going to get into some classic rock. We're going to show you my favorite Queen album, Queen 2. And so you think that's the Bohemian Rhapsody picture, but this was before Bohemian Rhapsody. And this features the March of the Black Queen, because we're doing March songs. March of the Black Queen is like this 7 or 8 minute long epic. It's like the proto Bohemian Rhapsody, except it's better than Bohemian Rhapsody. I remember my parents had this record when I was a kid. I've got a reissue of it now. I don't know what happened to the original, but as you've got side white and side black. I especially love side black because it's pretty heavy. Ogre Battle, the Fairy Feller's master stroke, using words like query and tatterdemalion and all kinds of other words you never hear in rock songs. And of course, the March of the Black Queen. And then for some reason, it gets followed up by Funny How Love Is, which doesn't really fit the theme of this record at all. They should have put it on a different record. Then we're going to get into some Ciccone Youth with the Whitey album. So who's Ciccone Youth? Well, that's Sonic Youth and Mike Watt. And so they covered a Madonna song. They called it Into the Groovy. They covered a Robert Palmer's Addicted to Love. They covered Sonic Youth's song, Making the Nature Sing. But there is an instrumental on here, a little less than 2 minutes long. That's called March of the Ciccone Robots. And so there's a lot of experimental, krautrocky sort of stuff and noise on this album. And you've got kind of a clank, clank, clank and boom, 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 weird drums going on. March of the Ciccone Robots. And so as long as we've got sort of the theme going of showing instrumental songs, let's do another instrumental march. Let's do the Ides of March by Iron Maiden. And so the Ides of March was the opening track on their second album, Killers. So this, you still have Paul Di'Anno on vocals, and you've got Clyde Burr on drums. I believe this was the first album that Adrian Smith was on. And of course, you got Steve Harris and Dave Murray as always. So the Ides of March is an instrumental, leads into probably my favorite song on this album called Wrathchild. And I'll be honest, I'm actually not as fond of this album as most Iron Maiden fans seem to be. I've heard a lot of Maiden fans call this their favorite Maiden album, and when I did my Iron Maiden ranking, I actually had this like 6 or 7, which I think is unusually low. I think it's definitely my least favorite of like their first 5, and I'm definitely a Bruce guy over a Paul Di'Anno guy as well. And then we've got a little less than a minute left, so let's get into some music that was recorded in March. March 25th, 1966, Carnegie Hall concert by Buck Owens and his Buckaroos. And look at those cats walking around Manhattan in those nudie suits. I mean, that's some Bakersfield swag going on right there. So again, March 25th, a few weeks from now, is going to be the 57th anniversary of the show where they recorded this. And so, of course, it's actually pretty short. I don't think it's the whole concert, but you've got like Act Naturally and The Streets of Laredo and I Got a Tiger by the Tail and some medleys and a bunch of Buck bullshitting, because that's kind of what they did. It was proto hee haw.